Luigi Mangione, become a folk hero. The guy's a nutcase. I mean, he really is a total nutcase. But if you look at the stories, I think you gave me this story, as a matter of fact. It's where we're talking about health insurance, how it's failing to the point to where not just thousands of people dying, tens of thousands of people are dying. And it's really driven by United Healthcare to some degree. United Healthcare, of course, you know the story. Luigi takes him out, and half the country says, "Oh, this is brilliant." Well, why did they say that? Why did they say this is a modern folk hero? I mean, when you drill down on the guy, he's completely bonkers. He really is. He's totally bonkers. But when you have half the public saying this is okay.
I would venture to say at this point, it may even be more than half of the public. All right. And this is one of those issues where you got Republicans and Democrats kind of united. Everybody, I mean, they are not complaining about what he did, I guess is the best way to say it. But, you're right, though, because United Healthcare is the driver. They deny more claims than any other insurance company.
Tell the viewers how they go about it. I mean,
this is the sick part, because now the doctors are speaking out.
Right.
And the doctors have come forward and they've told The Guardian, listen, when I order a test for a patient, because I need to see where exactly the tumor is, so I want the CAT scan, the MRI, whatever. I need to see where it is so that I don't make a 5-inch incision when I can make a 1-inch incision. Mm-hmm. So I need to run this test. We got to do this scan. Mm-hmm. Then what happens is that I have to submit it to their insurance company, and then that insurance company says, whoa, you need to have a peer-to-peer, they're called, review.
Right.
So the doctor has to spend hours on the telephone with what they're told is their peer, but really, it's just a regular person. They're not doctors. They're not health experts. They do not have training in these areas. And they're sitting there telling the doctor, no, this patient doesn't need this procedure. Just go in there willy-nilly, cut out the tumor, and get out of there. It's crazy.
You know the case we've just finished last year. Virginia Buchanan in our law firm was the lawyer on the Blue Cross Blue Shield case. We settled for several $1 billion. And what the documents say this. It's not just Blue Cross Blue Shield. Their goal is they know the psychology of delay. All right? This is how ghoulish this is. They understand that somebody who's going through a medical crisis is already diminished. Their ability to be able to take care of themselves is already diminished. Their idea of getting on a telephone and actually working out, well, why aren't you paying this? And spending hours on the phone. That ability is diminished. The ability for the doctor to be able to do that from a time standpoint is virtually impossible.
Yeah.
So they figured out there's this sweet spot. Claimant makes a claim. We know if we delay 27 days or 28 days, we understand that the chances of that claim falling through are dramatically increased. Will the person die? Probably. We didn't get them care. Something as simple as a PET scan, and we want to run a PET scan because we want to understand where the tumor is, right? The doctor can't just go in there looking for a tumor randomly. He has to know where the tumor is. So we delay the PET scan. It ends up in death. The point is this: it's almost it's hard to argue with the public's reaction to the insurance industry. And this is an industry, there's nothing, this is not like the property insurance industry where you have a big hurricane or a big fire and you say, my God, they're failing. This is an industry that's making more money than third world countries.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's only a few of them. This happened when Wall Street got involved, right? It used to be doctor hospitals. Wall Street comes in, buys all these doctor hospitals, and they say, we're going to create this new thing. And United Healthcare is one of those new things, And so that's why we're getting killed, and that's why as we look at this story develop, I don't see there any sympathy for this man who lost his life. This is a man who lost his life, wife, children, and it wasn't all his fault. You can't blame it on this guy. It's a policy that they've written document after document about how we're going to pull this off step by step. And it works.
Well, see, that's the thing, too. And I've mentioned this in conversations with my family. I've asked them, I said, what was the name of the CEO?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't even remember his
Yeah,
name,
yeah.
but they'll tell you Luigi Mangione right
Yeah.
off the top of their head. That is a household name. Honestly, at this very moment, the name of the CEO escapes me. Was it Brian
Thompson.
Thompson? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's how this has been again, because I don't think there's very many people that you could have a conversation with anywhere in this country, red state, blue state, whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to say, "Oh, let me tell you about how great my health insurance was.
Right.
Man, I just had the greatest phone call." Everybody's got a horror story. I've got horror stories.
Well, it is, there's many kinds of what I call ghoul defenses that I see in courtrooms all the time. Wait till the people get old and die, then we don't have to pay for it. This is one of those ghoul defenses. Delay, they're in diminished state, their life is in turmoil, they're dying of cancer. We're going to hold out as long as we can. By the time we're dead, there's not really a lawsuit here. So this is what they've analyzed, and this is actually part of the play.
Well, and another thing they'll do too as part of that delay is, okay, we'll deny it even though we know we can cover this, because they'll appeal it and we'll approve it upon appeal. But during that time, the chances of that person dying, then not needing the test, obviously, increase dramatically. So they will intentionally, do this delay tactic here. So on New Year's Eve, which is the worst day possible to drop any kind of news, but on New Year's Eve, Jerry Nadler, Democrat in the House, says, we've actually compiled this report that outlines, it was a huge report, everything that Jim Jordan, the chair of the Judiciary Committee, did to help Elon Musk make money, basically laying out what they call this collusion between Jim Jordan and Elon Musk. And to save people the 150 some odd page report, Jim Jordan did, in my opinion, weaponize his position to try to shame advertisers into going back to Twitter, because you had a lot of advertisers once Elon Musk took over, unbanned everybody, including some horrible, horrible racists. These advertisers felt pressure to get off the platform, and they did.
But they're back. They're back.
They're back because Jim Jordan hauled them in front of Congress.
Nothing has changed. They're back. Well, look, first of all, Nadler is a buffoon. I mean, he is. The guy's a buffoon. He titles his paper. This is the title of the paper: How the House Republican Majority Abused Oversight Powers to Protect Elon Musk and Silence His Critics. This hit the garbage can before it was dry, okay? If you read that, you're saying, well, I get it. I mean, I don't need to read anymore, do I? And in there was some important stuff. It was some good analysis. But the idiot put this headline on it, and it became garbage immediately. Nobody paid attention. Did you actually read this?
Listen, I didn't even know this had come out until 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'm talking 2 weeks after New Year's, when it came out, is when I saw the first story on it. And the story even mentions nobody even knew this happened because he drops it on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But
there's some good analysis from what I've read. People have looked at it, say there's some good analysis in here. But when you start off with a title like that, I mean, really? I mean, and then you have Nadler's name on it. It's like immediate garbage can.
Well, and the big headline before even that was delusion of collusion.
Yeah.
So we got to get our little rhymes in there and be cutesy with it. But really, what Jim Jordan has basically spent 2 years doing, even beyond the Twitter stuff, he's weaponized his position. His whole thing was, let me go after all these stupid things that nobody cares about. I mean, Jim Jordan's never sponsored or never had a piece of legislation that he sponsored get passed. Not once in his entire career.
Really?
And he's given up any pretense of attempting to be a lawmaker. He just said, you know what? People left Twitter, now he's not making money. Let me bring in these advertisers, as if you have any say over it. Advertisers, even if they're pressured by people, have every right to leave a platform or to go to a platform. Yeah. You may not like that they're advertising there, but it's their decision. You may not like that they leave, but they have that right. And when you have Congress of any kind attempting to interfere in this free market that they say they love so much, that's always going to be a problem to me.